What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burnout Brighter podcast. This is episode 97. I'll be your host, Matt, for this evening's events. I'm joined, as always, by my wonderfully lovely co-host, Destiny.
Hey.
And this week, we are supremely excited to be joined by one of the members of the gameHERS, a fantastic coalition who does a ton of incredible stuff in this gaming space. Raccine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super happy to be here.
Yo, we are super happy to have. I can't talk.
One more time, Destiny.
Yeah. Super happy to have you on. No, I do not know what's wrong with me today. I have not been drinking. I promise. No alcohol.
Maybe a little.
This is water. Oh. This is no, really none.
Soupy Happer would like to
Soupy
have
happy
a conversation about that.
We're going to have an incredibly Soupy Happer conversation today. But Raccine, if people wanted to know a little bit about you before we get into everything, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, a little bit about the gameHERS, and just who are you?
Wow, that made me have a mild existential crisis. You just asked me who I am. How do you expect me to know it off the fly? Who authorized that question? I know I didn't. Did you? Okay, well,
she said it was a Soupy Happer question.
Give me a minute to remember who I am. Just, I think I remember. I'm pretty sure I'm probably a cowboy somewhere in Texas, just
nice.
Enjoying, I'm good. Maybe a small horse because I'm I don't know, maybe. I don't know who anyways. So hi, I'm Raccine. I'm the community engagement and DI manager over at the gameHERS. I do a bunch of other stuff as well. I'm a freelance community, everything, and DEI manager. I do all the do's, the diddly do's. If you want to know, look at my LinkedIn or my resume, whichever one boats your float. I do a lot. I will admit I do a lot. You mentioned mental health earlier before we started recording, and I'm also an ambassador with Saving Our World, and I do a few community things for them as well. So I always like to give them a quick shout out for everything that they do, really, and all of the work that they've been putting in to support the growth of the gaming industry as a place that's more considerate of mental health. So I just wanted to quickly plug that. My necklace fell off. That's amazing. I don't have a issue, as far as I'm aware. I might. Listen, if you can, seek out any form of support at any point in time, do it. Okay, where was I in my intro? I don't remember.
No, I mean, you do so many things. That's so incredible. I love that you brought up Sacred Place and stuff. That's so cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the gameHERS? What are the gameHERS, if anybody has not heard of them before?
Matt, what are you doing with your hand?
Just talking. I'm excited too.
All over the place.
That's what I do. I'm just going to keep talking like this the entire time.
Yeah.
I think so.
We're all hyper. This is why we had the Soupy Happer incident.
Yeah.
But on a completely serious note, though, I definitely do a lot. I try to do a lot within the industry, and I want to do more within the space. And I feel like the gameHERS is one of those organizations that I've worked with that kind of aligns with what I would love to do and what I find fulfilling within my life, which is really philanthropic work and helping others and supporting others and creating those inclusive spaces for others. That's really the entire mission of the gameHERS, to create a space or to create to create a space where femme-identifying gamers can feel comfortable, and all gamers can feel comfortable. But that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to create that space to amplify the voices of those who are not currently being heard. And we're trying our best at that. We're definitely doing a lot. We have a lot of initiatives coming up over the next couple of months and even years that are targeted towards helping various groups. Somebody outside is yelling while I'm going on, right?
They're excited about the gameHERS, that's why.
Yes, yeah. Or it could just be Jamaica, either or.
Well, that is awesome. I'm so stoked to dig more into that a little bit later in the show. But we are going to start this show, as we always do, with a round of random questions. And as is tradition, our guest will be thrown under the bus, and I will ask Raccine a question first, and then we will throw it to her to ask us questions in return.
Somebody help me.
So, to start things off, as I look around my room for inspiration,
Oh
As
no,
as is tradition, never prepare for
He
this
doesn't
question.
prep.
I'm in danger.
Well, that's why it's a random question.
Yeah,
Uh,
like honestly though, it could be a random question that you prepped for. Because to
It
her, it
could,
would be random no matter
but
what.
to you, it wouldn't be random. You maybe should have come
Yeah.
prepared. He's shaking his head.
okay, I have a question.
Yes.
If you could have any video game character prepare you a meal, which video game character would you want to make you any sort of dish? If you could pick like anyone to make you a meal, who would it be and why?
I feel like this kind of question is dangerous because any meal they prepare for me will be pixelated.
Mm, could be. That's right.
They're video game characters. Would I be entering in their space or would they be entering mine? And if not, if it's just does it get delivered by
I would
mail?
say you would enter their space because if they entered ours, it probably wouldn't taste like anything but static. So we
Yeah.
don't want that. We want you to kind of enjoy it.
Mhm.
Okay. God, pain. I'm thinking about this. This is a hard thinky thong. I actually don't. Oddly enough, I want to see the Among Us and Fall Guys characters cook. It feels like it'd be such a chaotic meal. Among Us characters don't even have arms. I want to see that
Right.
happen. I feel like that's the most cliche thing I could have said, but I want to see that happen. Among Us and Fall Guys beings trying to cook a meal together. I don't know how that's gonna work, but they're gonna accomplish it somehow. It's gonna be a mess. It's probably gonna be. I don't know. I feel like Fall Guys just eat candy.
Yeah, probably.
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
probably right.
So like a
Yeah.
dessert, maybe.
I might have stomach troubles afterwards. You might have to call an ambulance. We might be in some trouble. I'm gonna have
I
to
love
call
that.
off of work.
I love
Good
that answer
answer.
so much. So much. Not anything that I expected, but I think that you're right. I think the meal that would be cooked up by them would be incredibly entertaining to at least watch. Taste, I
Yeah,
mean, we'll see.
and incredibly painful to eat. Probably. I'm
Yeah.
talking about cavities for days.
They'd be like,
Oof.
is that an entire shoe in that meal? All right.
Good
Oh
God.
God.
Do any of them actually wear shoes? I feel like maybe Fall Guys would have some form of shoes because they have the skins as well.
Maybe. I don't know. It seems like they wear like footsie pajamas more
Yeah.
than they wear shoes, right?
That's valid. So maybe they would put their footsies in there. I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
think I want footsies.
I think you'd have some body parts in there for sure. Just
I heard someone say I think it was one of my close friends said they wanted to eat a Fall Guys bean, and I've been traumatized ever since.
Those things are absolutely massive in real life. Have you ever seen a picture of like them to scale? They're like 7 feet tall.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're absolutely huge.
That's so weird. I never thought of them as being. I thought of them as being very small.
Someone just they just look squishy and edible. My connection went burr a while ago. I don't know if it was me or like Zencaster. I don't appreciate that. We're talking about someone trying to consume Fall Guys beans.
I know. This is not
That's
the time for
disrespectful.
Zencaster to be
This is
messing up.
mad disrespectful.
This is disrespectful to me, to everybody here. We don't appreciate that in this household. Zencaster, clean that act up right now.
I agree. That's perfect.
Oh my God.
So now, Raccine, I will throw it over to you, and you can either start with myself or with Destiny. I'll let you choose who you start with and what question you want to ask. Anything goes. You're in the hot seat.
Do any of you use Fabuloso to clean your bathroom? This is just a question. Before
No.
I ask.
No.
No.
Do you use it?
Sometimes. What do you use to clean then? What, Lysol?
Yeah.
Do you have?
Actually.
I'm looking over here. Do you have the disinfecting wipes?
Yes.
I have
Definitely for like my sink, right? So like okay, so yeah. So like if you know like when you're doing your hair and if you have like either 4C hair or like any kind of texturized hair, as soon as you're like combing it, you're like shedding all over the place, right?
Gone.
So yeah, I use those to like just wipe up the little curls and all that stuff. And it's just easy, right? You just pull it out and
Yeah,
clean.
that's true. Although
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know how to pull it out and then it wraps around itself and then there's this whole struggle to like.
Pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, I was wiping my kitchen counter earlier and I tried to pull out the Lysol wipe and it It
It
just
wouldn't
would not
come
budge.
out.
It was just stuck, and I stood there for a second thinking, am I having a moment? Is this what it is? Am I passing away right now? Are
Is
you
this
telling me
everything?
that
Did
I
you
do
try
not?
using the ones that are in like the flat package, like like baby wipes? Those come out really easy.
Dang, I've been buying the wrong Lysol.
Yeah.
I hate those ones because then once it gets stuck, you have to try and like poke it to get it out. But sometimes my
You
finger
can
gets
just
Yeah,
stuck.
take
that's
off the
true.
top.
I
I
do.
had
Sometimes
never
I'll
considered
screw off
that.
the top. Sometimes I'll
Yeah,
just screw off the
just take
top.
the top off.
But
You're over
but
here like sticking
I'm
your
like, I'm like
finger.
sticking my
like
finger and I'm like, get
I
out.
appreciate this one. I don't appreciate the smaller version of this. The
Mm.
smaller version of this is a problem. However, this large container, this is fine because it's a lot easier for me to just go like so. Oh, see, now we're having that problem where it's actually stuck again. Come on, I was trying to have a no. Anyway, we're gonna ignore that. No more Lysol.
No more Lysol. All right.
That was a good question. I don't
That
know
was
if
a
that
great
was your
question.
question, but that was a good question.
That
And I
was
just
the
wanted
question.
I want to say really quick, I think you are so pretty. I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel
Oh
like
my
as like a
god.
black female telling an I try to do that and I think you are absolutely gorgeous. So I just wanted
Oh,
I feel bad because I've never said that to any of our other
I
guests.
will pass away. I will
But
pass away right now. She's
you are so
complimenting me though.
pretty.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna pass away. No, don't do that. I
She's like, I'm dead. I'm done.
It's
I will
like
cease to exist.
first it was the Lysol, then the compliments. Done. It's over.
I'm
No,
over
Throwing in
it.
the.
everything is murdering me. The Lysol wipes don't want to get them. See, I'm gonna have to. No.
All right, let's keep this train rolling. Raccine, whenever we have a new guest on, we always like to talk to them about a game that matters to them. So, a game that has impacted their mental health in some way, shape, or form, or a game that they feel is worth talking about because it has something that they identify a lot with. So, can you tell us a little bit about a game that matters to you?
Yeah, I mean, Zencaster did a little beep boop bleep, but a game that matters to me. I feel like there are two titles that I would consider really significant. Maybe three, but I think two solo player titles that I find really significant. Initially, when I'd come into the industry, I was working within the indie space, and so I spent a lot of time digging through the indie space and like looking through games, experiencing them, things like that. I know I always had an affinity for horror, psychological horror, dystopian things, anything to do with like the cosmos, the universe, and experiencing that in its truest form and true emotion. So when I was looking through Steam categories, I remember coming across two games: Rome, RHOME, and When the Darkness Comes. Now, each of them are special in their own way. I will probably talk about When the Darkness Comes first because that's what I came across. That particular game, it's kind of from the perspective of a game developer and the different emotions that they go through as they're developing. And imposter syndrome is a huge thing that they tackle in there, along with anxiety, depression, and other emotions. And it's one of those games where you can play it multiple times and get different endings. I will leave a trigger warning that there are mentions of self harm, suicide, and a bunch of other things there that might not be savory for folks who have any experiences with that. So if those are some of your triggers, please don't play the game. But I found it to be an interesting experience, even when I was watching it being played. It definitely does give some insight into the fact that sometimes there isn't that much support out there for indie devs or developers in general, not even exclusive to indie devs, but the support there is lacking. That's why I'm really glad that organizations like Safe in Our World are popping up now to be that support. But that was my experience with When the Darkness Comes. The soundtrack is great. It's essentially one person who's a creator of the game, I believe, narrating through the experience. Sometimes he can be a little bit cynical. Sometimes they can be very harsh, and it's essentially them talking to you while having an inner dialogue. So you get some insight into their
Okay.
mind. It's a really good experience. And then as for Rome is kind of different in the sense that while it's still from a while you're still experiencing the game from a first person perspective, it's different in the sense that you're playing as a person who has just gotten home. They're experiencing a lot of weird things within their space, and there's a lot of emphasis on living spaces, and I thought that was fantastic. Living spaces and how brutalist architecture can be so overwhelming and domineering, especially in the circumstance that she was in. I'm not going to say anything because it would be a spoiler,
Mhm.
but when I had finished playing that game, it made me want to kind of reflect on my own experiences as an individual and project that through my own game. Maybe if I ever get to developing it,
Mhm.
sign me up for that one. But I do have it scribbled out. I do have the idea scribbled out, and I wanted to create an experience based on living spaces. There's so many. There's a good video on that if I can remember, and it was based on the game Control. Someone was doing a review of it, and they were doing an in-depth dive into Control. If I can find it, like give me, I will find this video in like 2 seconds. I will find this.
I believe in you. You can do it.
I'm gonna find it. No, don't do this to me. The one time I need you. I will remember it later, but it's a fantastic YouTube video. How can I forget the name? Oh
If
wait,
you
no. There's a way.
If you give it to us later, we'll definitely post it down below so our listeners can check it out.
I'm in
And
pain.
after we look at it too.
I remember now. It's a video by Jacob Geller.
Uh-huh.
It's either I think it's either Fear of Depths, perhaps, or no.
Okay.
The name of the video is Control, Anatomy, and the Legacy of the Haunted House. That was a fantastic video by Jacob Geller. I'm so glad I remembered that. I told you I'd find it in 2 seconds.
No, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
That is awesome. So I'm glad that both of those games connected you with you in such a special way. Are both of those on Steam? Is that where people can find them if
Yeah.
they want to check them out?
Both of them are free on Steam.com.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's a perfect way to
Definitely
go
have to check those out. Yeah,
Somebody
Well,
help me.
legit.
I have never heard of either one of those games, so I'm
haven't
definitely gonna have
either.
to check them out.
Yeah.
I totally recommend it. And if you do play them, maybe make it a podcast episode where you're just doing a playthrough of each of them. That would be amazing.
Are they longer games, or are they kind of the games that you can finish in one session?
You can finish in one sitting. I definitely think you could finish Rome in one sitting.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll have to check them out then.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for telling us about a couple games that matter to you. I love this segment. Every time we have a new guest on, it's just I can never anticipate what anybody's going to say, so it's just so fun to learn about games
New
that just are
games,
so personal.
different genres. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
or games that connect with somebody in such a tangible way. That's awesome. Let's keep going then.
It's Zencaster having a beep boop and not my Wi-Fi. Listen. If my internet service provider is listening to me right now, I pay y'all too much money for y'all to be acting a fool. Don't do that.
I wondered if it was just on my end too, because like, Matt, is it coming through clear for you?
It's a little stuttery, but every time I look at
Oh
the
my God.
Zencaster like audio file, it looks like it's continuous. Like it looks like there's no breaks in it. So I'm hoping that
It's just
The
the,
local-
video.
yeah, I'm hoping that the locally recorded file will totally be normal and we're not gonna have to worry about it. But it's not that bad
Okay.
at all. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Let's
Oh,
get
no.
back to it. No, don't even worry about it. We got this. All right. Let's move on to what's new. Talk a little bit about what we've been up to lately. And Destiny, I'm going to ask you first. What's new? What's been going on? What have you been playing? What have you been doing, Destiny?
Well, I've still been working on my writing portfolio so I can get into narrative game design, which is what I want to try to do now.
Mhm.
I've been playing a few games on Apple Arcade. I just finished the first part of Fantasian, and I think that's how you say it, or Fantasian, or no, I think that's how you say it. Anyways, it's a JRPG. It's really cool. I didn't even realize it was in parts, but I ended up finishing it yesterday. And then I tried out this other game, and I know the name of it. I'm just like
I feel that.
Yep. So my day has been great. Okay, so the game is called Game D Story, and basically
That switch. I saw that.
it's called Game D Story, and it's basically you own a game company, and it's been really
sorry.
hard. Yeah, no, it's been super hard trying to get games that people like, because like you produce a game, right? You put like two genres together and you have like 4 people working for you and everything. And
Okay.
it's like you send the game out and then you have to get reviews obviously from people, and then
Mhm.
based on those reviews, if they're not like so great, like it means your game might not do well. Like you might not sell as many units, obviously. I have not made a game yet that has gotten good reviews. So I'm still trying. I'm not in the red anymore. So that's a
Ooh.
good thing. And you also take on contracts for like other companies, so it's really like you own your own indie studio. It's kind of cool, but it definitely makes me feel like if I don't like it in a game, I'm probably not ever going to want to own like an indie game company myself, just
Yeah.
like dealing with
Yeah.
people. Um, but I'm glad that I thought it was really interesting that they threw that game in there into Apple Arcade, because I just thought it was a nice way to like get kind of an idea about how the industry works when it comes to the indie game developers.
Yeah.
Which, Matt, I will tell you to try out, because I did send you the Apple Arcade thing, so
Yeah.
you should be able to play it and try it out.
You're gonna get held accountable, Matt, if you don't play that game. We're both
I
gonna.
think I actually have played Game Dev Story before. If it's the same one that I'm thinking of, the developers make like a bunch of blank story games. Like you can be like one that's like a cafe, and there's all these different ones. I think I have played this. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, and if
He's
it's a different
running.
one, then I'll try it out.
He's running.
I don't know if there was a cafe in it. I don't remember.
No, they make like a bunch of different games all about like creating something. So Game Dev Story is all about like making games. They have like another one that's about like making a zoo. They have another one that's like about
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you need to play the game dev one.
Okay. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I put a bunch of time in it, and it is fun. It's hella hard getting out of the red at first, though. So, snaps on making it.
Thanks. So, other than that, yeah, I've just been waiting to hear back from a company and scheduling. Like I went to the Games for Change festival.
Mm-hmm.
So that started today, and just been like finding out about a lot of interesting companies, like companies working with the education department, companies working to really, and I think you might be interested in this, Raccine. It's actually a company called Snowbird. I don't know. I'll get it to you.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because their main focus is like trying to get more girls in school, like grade school, and that to get them to enjoy actually coding.
Yeah.
And so they have like it's been amazing, like just reading about it. And I talked to them today, so hopefully they'll be willing to come on to the show and talk about all of that, because I think that's amazing. I remember when I was first introduced to coding, and it was with Mel scripting and Maya, and I absolutely hated it. Like I hated it. I was so overwhelmed.
I thought that was going somewhere else based on your tone of voice. No. What a betrayal. No. I feel betrayed. I feel emotionally betrayed.
I got like a C in that class, and that was hard. Like I remember taking my final and basically copying everything word for word, just hoping that I would remember what was going to be on the test.
Yeah.
I was very proud of my C+, but I think after God. Yeah, man. It was, I mean, like, yeah, I can't say anything else about it. I was proud of my C+. Yeah, because I was just really bad at coding, and I think scripting just went over my head. So it's nice that they have these programs now, and I really want to try to check it out because it's really engaging for kids. And that's pretty much all I've been into.
I mean, you've been quite busy. That's awesome. And remind me real quick, Fantasian is the one that was developed by one of the OG Final Fantasy creators, right?
Yes.
Or something along those lines?
Yes.
Does it feel Final Fantasy-like, or does it feel like its own thing completely?
It feels like a JRPG. It doesn't feel like Final Fantasy-ish. Like he's not going around with a giant Buster sword or anything like that. But he has a sword. You know what I mean? Like the main character.
The typical JRPG story.
Yeah, it's a typical JRPG story. But what I do like is just the artistic style that it's in. Like, of course, the characters look like your typical like anime characters, but like the backgrounds and the scenery, like I think they literally built those. So if you think like not Pixar, but the company that did Coraline, and do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. But I'm struggling to remember. They did one of the other movies that I really liked.
Why can't I think of them? Anyways,
Coraline, the people that made Coraline.
Yeah, Laika Studios. So, like, if you think about that, or if you think about Nightmare Before Christmas, everything looks hand built. And it's like amazing, like all the details, like you can tell it's hand built, and like there's actual sand and things like that, and the kind of like the gameplay is over that. So
yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah. You need to send that over.
Yes, I
Please
will.
do.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
It
But
sounds
that's all I've
awesome.
been into.
Nice. Raccine, what
When it
about
comes, yeah.
yourself? What's new?
Oh, well, I moved. I'm still on the island, but I've gone through a move. That's amazing. And so I haven't necessarily been playing games as much. Before the move, I was playing a lot of Per Aspera. That's by Raw Fury. Just want to quickly plug that because you know I gotta plug it. Zeke from Raw Fury, amazing person. He sent me over some keys months ago, and I have been loving Per Aspera since then. Thank you, Zeke. And aside from that, I've actually been getting into Elder Scrolls Online, which I mean, it's right up my alleyway. I love
Nice.
MMORPGs.
Yes.
I mean, if I ideally had to work with a game company, although, like I said, I want to focus on more, I want to focus less on selling games and more on creating spaces, right?
Hmm.
So, but if I really, really had to get back into it, because I am working with a game company and they're allowing me to do DI based work there along with my community stuff, which is love that space ape. But if I really had to work with another company or add on another client, I would love to work with a company that creates MMORPGs. I love that. I love the community aspect of it. Um, and I love MMORPGs in general. I grew up playing them. I mean, my first games were just massively multiplayer online games. That's where I started off gaming, and I love that. I love the fact that you don't necessarily need to always be in a team to function in the game, but
Hmm.
it's so nice to be able to go back and say, "Hey, these are my guildies. Let's go raid something. Let's go do something wild, whatever it is." Right? So I love that, and I would love to. Hey, if any companies are listening that are currently looking for support with that, but no, yeah, that's where I'm. Or maybe I can ask Space Ape, but they make mobile games. Maybe I can get them to make a mobile MMORPG. Hey,
There you go. That's cool.
Yeah. That would be
hey,
dope. But I
Yeah,
love
we're
that you love MMOs because, like, MMOs are my shit.
I love that.
Oh,
Wow.
we're big MMORPG fans. Our third co-host who wasn't able to join us today, Darren, is like absolutely obsessed with Final Fantasy 14, and I've put a good chunk of time into that as well.
I
And
tried it.
Destiny tried, but it
You
didn't
didn't
quite
like
connect.
Final Fantasy 14. Did no one give you cheese?
I love Final Fantasy. Like, I love like the whole like genre. I do not like the archaic gameplay. Like, I need to be more active. So I'm more like, I love Terra, where like you're actually moving around and like fighting. Like, I can't do turn based unless it's JRPG. Like, I just can't do it
You did.
anymore.
No one gave you cheese.
I didn't get any cheese.
I'm offended. Let me tell you something. My first day on Final Fantasy, someone gave me a lot of cheese.
What does it do?
What? Like actual cheese?
Cheese is in the game for cheese. I don't listen. The day I started, I was as confused as y'all are right now. I was waving at people in around the eighth ride, and I waved at someone, and they were like, "All right, hold on, come here. I'm gonna give you some cheese." I said, "What?" I thought they were kidding. I thought they were just kidding. They traded with me. All of a sudden, I see cheese in my inventory. I'm like, what? What is
Please
this?
tell me you're friends with this person now, the
Of
cheese giver.
of course, they're my cheese friend. But what? When I got that in my inventory, I'm like, dang, they meant actual cheese. What does this do? And it has various boosts. And they have no. Here's what actually got me laughing. They have cheese variety in the game.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I didn't
Derek's
know
never
that.
even talked about the cheese in the game, and he is like in it to win it.
How could you
Now
have
I'm
not
going to
spoken
ask
about
him
the
about
cheese?
that later. About the
See,
cheese
you're in
in
trouble.
the game.
You're in
Yeah.
trouble. How could you have
Yeah.
not spoken about the cheese? We're gonna have problems.
He didn't even bring it up. We had a whole like episode on MMOs. He didn't even talk about the cheese.
That's
We're gonna have-
offensive.
And I love cheese.
That's
We're gonna
offensive
have
to
to ask
Destiny.
him. We're gonna have to ask Darren about his lack of cheese sharing
Yeah.
knowledge because like
His
I've actually
lactose intolerant ass.
Oh my god.
because when I was playing, I didn't really come across much cheese. So
No one gave you cheese.
no one gave me cheese. That's probably why I put it down for a bit. Nobody came to me and they're like, "Let me inundate
Yeah,
you with cheese."
that's why you put it down for a
They
bit.
gave me so much cheese, and then when I actually, because I was on the free trial, so they couldn't give me much cheese. When I actually bought the game, they packed my inventory up with so much cheese, it's not even funny.
Well, it sounds like you had a pretty
I still have
cheesy
cheese in my
experience.
inventory. I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 in a bit because of life, but like,
Mhm.
I still
Let me
have
know
a
when
lot
you
of cheese.
play, and please pass me some cheese. I'm only logging on for the cheese, though.
I'm gonna give you so much cheese.
I'm
Do
ready.
not play these games. I will give you my entire cheese stockpile and get more.
Well, I mean, could you also hook us up with the cheese friend, because that sounds like a good friend.
Yeah,
to have.
your
I
cheese
will
friend
hook you up
sounds
with.
dope.
I'm gonna introduce you to my cheese friend. Definitely, that's 100% valid. I'm gonna look up cheese varieties in Final Fantasy right now. Cheese varieties. I'm googling it in Final Fantasy. What is happening? 246 kinds of cheese.
240 different types of cheese.
Who authorized this?
So you know
I
that
did not
they must
expect that.
they
I
must have
thought it
like
was...
one cheese person like dedicated to making different kinds of cheese.
Could you imagine getting hired by a
Wait,
company being like a
wait.
cheese expert?
I might be an idiot because I was just looking. I looked at a wiki and I saw something come up. I don't know what this is about. It just says 246 kinds of cheese, and I'm scared. I'm confused. Something about limbs to lemons to upper decks, which is valid, but oh no, that's a quest. I'm stupid. It's a guild leave. It's a guild leave. I might be a little stupid. It's fine.
Watch there be like 3 types of cheese.
Watch me get roasted by the entire Final Fantasy community after. I'm hiding in my turtleneck.
Your cheese friend is sitting here listening, being like, "She's not getting any more cheese from me."
I'm sorry. I'm a failure to the Final Fantasy 14 community. Like, how could I have done this? They have blue cheese.
They do. They do have blue cheese. That's what I mean. Yeah. Stone
So,
cheese, cheese
Matt,
collection.
what have you been up to?
Oh, thanks, Destiny. As for
I remembered.
you did. I've been playing a bunch of Scarlet Nexus. That game has a lot of things that are very cool, and then some things that are just, like the combat in that game is super, super enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. It's very, very anime, which is why I got into it. I watched Mr. Midas's review, and he got me so hyped on that
Matt,
game.
give me a fist bump.
Matt loves anime and anything that has to do with high school and anime.
I love Persona, like Persona.
Persona.
That's what she means. That. Please clarify.
You had me pause for a second. Everybody thought what I did a while ago. I know y'all thought what I did a while ago. I don't need to say anything. I had to stop.
My
for
bad.
a second.
Persona.
Thank you. So I've been playing a bunch of that. It's really, the combat's really, really great. The in-between moments are okay. Like they have an open world that in-between missions, like you'll go and run around in, but it's pretty empty. Like there's nothing really there for you to do. And as soon as fast travel opens up, there's no reason for you to be running in between areas. And like there are other moments that are like in between missions. You can also bond with some of your fellow, Nexus agents, but the sections are kind of just there. Like there are so many characters and there's so much going on, and then you have these like quieter moments, but they don't really land as well as something like a Persona does. So I am enjoying it. I think the combat is enough to carry the game because it's a lot of fun. And once you hit into like the game goes in phases instead of like chapters. Once you get into phase 2, shit really picks up and gets really interesting. So I am enjoying it so far. And there's like 2 stories of like 2 different characters that kind of like come together at different points. So don't know if I'll play the second character right away or if I'll give it some time, but from what I'm playing, it's been enjoyable. And then I also spent a bunch of time with the World Ends With You Neo demo because that game is coming out at the end of the month. And like the demo, if you play it, you actually can carry over your save progress into the full game if you like it and you decide to buy it. I have never really played The World Ends With You. I tried to play it a bit like the original on my phone, but like as Destiny knows, whenever I get into like a mobile game, something in my mind just disconnects and I put it down faster than I should. And it's nothing about the game's quality. I don't know why. It's just the way that I am. But that game has really, really cool combat. It has really, really interesting style. Like it's very visually compelling. But there are little things that like I was playing on the PS5, and it's probably just because I've played so much on that system now that like small load times just in between areas, like you'll run and then there'll be like a 5-second loading window in between spaces that like you don't think there should be there. Like it just kind of breaks the game up a little bit weirdly. But it frustrated me while I was playing, but it's also, since I finished the demo, it's a game I haven't really been able to stop thinking about. So I'm very curious to see the full thing when it comes out. And it's one of those ones where it's like, if the reviews are good, I'll pick it up because I did enjoy parts of it. So I'm just curious to see what else that game has to offer, because the style is super cool. The music's fantastic. It's so visually compelling that like I want to see more of it. But yeah, that's a bit of a wait and see for me. But the demo is free and it's on a whole bunch of platforms. And like if you want to check it out, go do it, because I do think the demo is worth a play to see if you're gonna like it or not. But that's what's been up with me. But Destiny, let's get into our main segment. I'm gonna pass the ball to you to start us off. You didn't catch the ball. Wait, you didn't catch the ball.
Okay, pass it again.
Thank you.
Okay, beautiful.
What? Is that how you catch the ball? What is this rainbow ass maneuver?
What happened?
You like threw it like this, right?
I
you
chest
threw it
past it.
How do you?
Oh, you chest passed. I don't know.
just-
Maybe
what
I
is
was like,
happening?
I'm not ready.
Do y'all catch? Do y'all catch round objects like that? I would say the other
I mean,
world,
it depends.
but
I don't even know how big the
I don't
ball
want to say
was.
the other word.
Stop judging me.
I'm not judging you, but you catch round objects like that.
I don't know how big it is. What if it's like this big? What if it was a beach ball?
Okay, I'm gonna throw it in the air. Okay.
All right.
There you go. All right.
Okay. She missed it. She was all turned around looking at her microwave.
She was trying to catch the ball.
I was not looking at my microwave. I was looking because you're trying to grab juice. Oh no. He was wondering if he could walk right there because he's shirtless and he's like, I don't want to be on.
Oh.
So I was like, it's fine. Get your juice. Everything's fine.
Get your juice, boo-boo. All right. So basically what we're going to do is we have a couple of questions that we wanted to ask you just based on like us researching the website and kind of give our listeners a better idea of what you actually do in the community, and not just you yourself, but what gameHERS is all about. And I know we'll be posting the website down below so you guys can check it out yourself, but like, why not just hear about it too? So one of the questions I wanted to know is like, how did this all get started? Like, were you all friends? Did you like come together and just decide that like you wanted to make this happen? Or was this like networking and meeting new people and bringing people in kind of thing?
Yeah, so definitely that would be more of a question for the founders because they initially came together and, you know, I believe it was two founders came together initially. They were having those discussions and then the team ended up expanding. And, you know, we, as in myself and other folk, have come on later on during the process of this company being built up. I mean, it's been over a year now. So we've come on over time as consultants and then some of us as long-term contractors to help drive the mission of the gameHERS. But I know I would prefer to leave in the beginning, anyways. In the beginning, I prefer to leave that story for any of the founders if you interview them. 100% recommend interviewing Verda. You will love interviewing her.
I'm absolutely. We are down. Whoever
do
wants
that.
to like come on and talk about it, because I just think it's really important to have representation, not just for Black and brown people, but for women, for the disabled, and all of those things. And we're trying to use our platform in order to reach more of our listeners. So if they're not aware of like assets that they can check out, or websites that they can check out, or safe spaces that they can go to, we want to give them those resources. So that's initially I followed you guys on Instagram and I was just like, what? The gameHERS? It's all about females. And I got really excited. I was like, hey. So I messaged and I was just like, yeah, we'd really love to have you on the show to just talk about your mission and your core values, because they seem to really align with what I believe and what Matt and Darren also believe. So yeah, if we can have them on to tell us the beginning story, like once upon a time, like I'm down.
I 100% recommend interviewing Verda. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul. And the way she has so much to say. And it's one of those things where she'll talk at length and it's so addictive to listen. She always has something to say and it's beautiful. And you could just listen to her for days on end. I promise you. Interview Verda. That is my one thing I will say about this.
So then
later after the show, we'll get some some deets.
So then what brought you to the gameHERS? What's your story of joining up with them? How did that all come about for your perspective?
Yeah. I remember initially when I joined the industry, I had always wanted to even before joining the industry, this is a dream I've had since I was so much younger. I remember saying when I was like 5 or 6 that I wanted to be a philanthropist. I cannot English either today, guess me. It's fine. The pause. I had always said that I wanted to be a philanthropist from eons. So when I started working, I always wanted to make sure that anything that I did was fulfilling while also self-sustaining so I could actually live and do and breathe.
Right.
So getting the opportunity to work with the gamers kind of came about through me doing a panel with Victoria Tran and a few other lovely community folk. Um, and it was it was last year. I think there should be a link to it somewhere. I could probably toss it to you after this. But we had done a panel on building better communities. And Verda had ended up spotting me from that time. And we had started corresponding over the course of winter 2020. And from there, things kind of moved along, and we had said, all right, let's move forward. And it's something that really aligned with everything that I wanted to do, everything related to community, everything related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, because that's super important to note there, although it might be missing from a few titles. Belonging is a super important part of all DI and community based work.
That's awesome. So then,
yeah, congratulations on that too. I mean, like, actually, the idea that you had this dream when you were like 5 and you actually reached it is amazing. And because I think so many of us have dreams of where we want to go, and like sometimes we don't get there. So like kudos to you for like working towards that and networking and getting to where you want to be. Like, I'm absolutely proud of you. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I feel like because it was such a broad thing to say as well, like I want to be a philanthropist, and there's so many ways to actually materialize that. So I feel like I'm at the start of that journey. I don't feel like I'm there enough yet to call myself that, but I'm at the start of that journey. I'm getting there, and there are more things that I'm going to be doing over time to create that those spaces for people, especially people within the Caribbean, because we are developing as an industry, right, within this space. So we need more support for that. And I'm hoping to take on a project soon that will allow us to kind of get that support, not just in Jamaica, but across the wider Caribbean.
Oh, get it, girl.
And
Yes.
I'm not going to dab. I refuse.
No, it's okay.
I refuse. I'm composed.
I saw the second there, though. You were like,
I thought you were like,
I was
no,
like,
think
no,
about it.
I'm going to behave. I will behave. I'm a professional.
So then, something that I wanted to kind of know about is like the gameHERS is all about inclusion and providing a safe space for women and those who identify as women in the gaming industry. What do you think are some of the most important parts of doing that? Like, how do you go about creating that space?
Yeah, that's such a broad question. There's so many ways you can utilize spaces in that way, right? Depending on, I mean, we do, like I said, we do focus on creating spaces for women and femme identifying gamers. And then the point is, how do we do that without relying on stereotypes, right? So definitely, I think one of the most important things that underlies all of this is not necessarily just the demographic that we're working with, but the fact that everything that we do is targeted towards creating inclusive and safe and welcoming spaces, whether that's how we communicate, what are the messages that we're sending out on social media, how are we engaging with our community in these spaces, what's the wording that we're using, are we actually being inclusive in the tone and in the things that we share, who are we hiring, why are we hiring them, do they actually align with what we're doing, and do they reflect those values, who are we allowing in our space, who are we having as ambassadors. There's so many different puzzle pieces that go into the grander scheme of things, that saying, how do we create a space specifically targeted to this community? In a way, I do feel like it will rely on stereotypes to answer that question. And I don't think it's just a space for women and femme identifying gamers. I think it's a space for people who are not heard and people who can be heard. And how do you create that space? You listen.
That was a good answer.
I love that. That
was a really good answer.
That just hit me right in my heart. That was beautiful. That was like, honestly.
That was really
nice.
Well. Yeah, that was great. So, one of the questions I wanted to ask, because I was looking on your website, is I saw that you guys are creating an app.
Yes.
And I want to know, like, what is this app for? Like, other than like just getting more of your information out there and like making it more accessible to people, what do you hope? Like, what are the kind of ideas for the future of this app?
I mean, definitely encouraging people to play together and meet up and do all of these cool things together. I think that's really like the underlying point of the app. It's another community space where people can engage, and the way it's going to look, the way it's going to feel has been done in consideration with a variety of groups. And I think it's going to be really cool. Like events, like community spaces within the community, just play together and do together. It's a social networking experience.
Okay, so it's a social networking. So people will get to like connect and like meet each other and like Is that what you? Okay, that's awesome. Because at first I wasn't sure if it was just going to be like kind of like your website announcing events, or if people were actually going to be able to connect and speak to each other. And I think that's amazing that you've actually included that into
Yeah.
your app. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I know we have a landing page ready for it, and when I saw it the other day, mind blown. It's going to be awesome when we put it out there. I know everything that we do, we craft with love and we craft with that in mind, and we've done a lot of research. We spent a lot of time developing this, so I'm super excited to put that out there into the world and have people come and experience it.
Yeah, I subscribed. I'm waiting for like the beta testing that popped up on the thing because I definitely want to try it. Matt, you should subscribe too. You
I
should all
will.
subscribe.
If you
We'll
don't
actually put
subscribe,
that
I will
information
cry.
at the bottom too.
Yes,
So,
subscribe now,
yeah.
or I will
Where do
have
I go to
to
subscribe? Hold on, let me find this. I
take
don't want her to cry
drastic
live on air. That's
measures.
gonna be...
I'll give it to you. I have it like pulled up right now. I'll post it to you later.
Okay, perfect.
I won't actually cry, but I will adamantly.
It's
Yeah.
just as soon as the podcast ends, I'm just gonna feel this cold stare. We'll be off cams, but I'm just gonna feel this like energy of like, oh no. I promise I'll do it. So then, something that I was kind of wondering about is, a lot of what the website talks about is, like I said, we spoke about creating the spaces, but things like Twitch and things like YouTube, especially as a lot of people, people of color and LGBTQ plus and women are more and more prevalently in that space. There's a lot of pushback online, and we have friends that stream and told us about some of like the mental draw, like the mental health can be difficult, especially in that space when you're dealing with a lot of toxicity and dealing with a lot of hate. So
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to know, like, what were some different resources or different things that you could kind of do, and how are you guys going about and kind of helping provide those spaces so that people who do deal with a lot of bullshit online unnecessarily can kind of look to somewhere to feel better or to deal with it properly, or you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, in terms of providing resources, I would definitely say that even within our own Discord community, we have we have channels um, to kind of work towards supporting different groups or different folks that identify with different groups. We've spent a lot of time refurbishing that over the last couple months, and we have definitely come back even better with that specific part of our server where you can go and you can feel comfortable. There's a channel for folks who identify with the LGBTQIA plus community. There for folks who are neurodivergent. There's so many different things, and there's also a crosstalk channel where you can engage in different conversations with different folks. If you're curious about the experiences of a BIPOC person and you want to politely ask that, that's like a great channel to ask. Hey, I want to relate to you in this way, in a really considerate way. Can we have this open dialogue, right? So that is one of the main resources I would definitely suggest if you're looking for that kind of support. If you've had a really bad or taxing day, somebody's been mean to you on the internet, or they're
Mm-hmm.
literally bullying you, you can share those experiences. We have a venting channel, right? We have a well-being and health like category in the Discord. These are things that I've like specifically pinpointed and said, we're going to do this, we're going to put this in the Discord, and we've all come together to curate those spaces at the gameHERS, right? So even something as simple as just joining our Discord community, you will find that space to engage, and you will find people that you can engage with safely, right? Because we're always keeping an eye out on conversations. You do something, you're gonna get it. Don't be mean.
No, that's great. That's really great. And again, we'll all have that information down in the bottom for you guys to check out. Because I think this is the first time we've ever talked to anyone who's actually brought up having Discord and using it to create safe spaces for people to come talk in. And I think that's really important, that we do have those kind of places, because otherwise we're talking to our friends who may not always understand what we're going through. And the idea of like not just having representation, but having representation that you can speak to face, not just something that you see.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. So that's amazing. And I love that you pinpointed those things and had those basically implemented in such a way that is giving accessibility to everyone. And it's not just for women. So that's the feeling that I keep getting as you're talking. It's not just a safe space for women, but like it's a safe space for anybody who's willing to go into these places and be open-minded and show care and be kind. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's super important to our mission, and every space that even before I came to the gameHERS, that was obviously an intrinsic part of the mission, and everything that we do, we work towards that goal. So even though we'll specifically pinpoint in our mission statement that hey, we're creating an inclusive community
Mm-hmm.
for women and femme identifying gamers, we are there for folks who are not being heard.
That's incredible, especially because I'm finding like the rise of Discord more and more. So like, I'm not somebody who uses Discord enough. Like I'm in a bunch of communities, but I always just forget to go. So it's like it's such a good opportunity for creating those spaces and being there for people in a way that you can identify together in some way, shape, or form. So that's so cool. Oh God, it's just the stuff
So
you. It's awesome. It's
Good
so
vibes.
it's exciting.
Good vibes.
No, it
Good
is exciting. And I'm really glad that we got you to come on the show because I feel like a lot of our listeners would benefit from knowing about these things. And like new people coming in will benefit from knowing about it. And just like the gameHERS wants to like make a place for people to be heard, that's also what we want to do on our podcast. Like we want to use our platform so that we can have people come on and speak about these places that they can go, these programs that they've started, these websites, these video games that they're creating to show representation, inclusiveness, and diversity. So yeah. Now I'm excited too. I'm not as like excited as how Matt's doing. I don't dance.
Matt's doing a little dancey dance.
But
That's
am
what I do. I get excited.
super excited. I'm so happy that you came on today.
Oh my god, I'm so happy to be here. Honestly, despite the cheese and the Lysol incident, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that anymore.
The what? Sorry, I don't.
Oh
remember
yeah,
what
yeah. Whoa, okay, that's what I thought.
Oh my god. One of my last questions I wanted to ask, unless Matt, did you have? I know you wanted to ask about the awards, so
I did. Go
ahead.
ask about
You
the
go
awards.
ahead and ask about the awards.
Yeah, because I was digging into the gameHERS awards, and like I think it's such an awesome thing that you guys are doing to have an award show specific to women and femme identifying individuals to have that space. So I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about the awards. Like how does that kind of function? How does that go about? Like what's the aim? This outside of obviously highlighting incredible people in the industry, what do you hope to accomplish with the awards?
Yeah, you could offer a small portion of that.
Okay.
Just a small
bit. But like what's the kind of the hope for the awards as they continue to grow and as they're going into another year? What's kind of the hope for the awards and what kind of goes into making them?
Yeah, I feel like that kind of loops back into our central mission, but just highlighting and creating spaces for voices to be heard. That's really it, just empowering folks, empowering women and femme identifying gamers within the gaming industry who might not be getting the recognition that they wholeheartedly deserve. Every day I meet some really like amazing individuals within the industry who I see as inspirations, honestly. They're just amazing folk. Eltonin is one person. They are a non-binary community. I want to call them a community warrior, but I'm going to sound like those stereotypical companies that have like social media ninja in their in their job bios, and I don't want to be that guy. So we're not going to be that guy. But
No.
there are just so many people I could name, and honestly, I really this is me talking, but like I really think that the awards highlight folks who need to be highlighted,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that's the simplest way to just cover what the awards are. Just recognizing, empowering, highlighting everything related to community building, content, all of the different categories that we have within our awards. Right now, they're working on it. We're working on it. We'll have more information out soon. I would share, but I feel like I want to leave it until we have more information out there.
I
I'm
cannot
going to
wait
be-
for that more information to come.
Yeah,
I love award shows.
We'll
I love that
definitely
stuff.
have to have you back on so you can give us all the deets.
All the tasty details. I'm
all
surprised.
the tasty, cheesy details.
I'm surprised you have not asked about our collegiate program either, which has recently been announced. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Please talk about it.
I 100% will. If you all want to check that out, thegamehers.com/the collegiate division. We will be providing more information about that. Subscribe to the email thingamabob. Yay, marketing.
Yay, marketing.
But essentially, the collegiate division is an extension of everything that we do, and it's an inclusive community for collegiate women, femme-identifying human beings, and non-binary humans. I felt like I said humans twice, but that's okay. I think it's another space for those in the collegiate space and network. You can totally contact us if you want to know more about it. We're always looking to see who's interested in it, whether that's colleges who can partner with us or anyone else who might just be interested in taking a peek. It's not just exclusive to esports. We do all the dues, and we have a press release somewhere. I will send that to Destiny or Matt.
Send it on, girl.
I will send that over because we released that recently. Like I said, there's a lot of information there, that I'm sure you would love to talk about and kind of take a look at. I totally recommend reading our press release. We spent time on that press release.
You know what? And I'm definitely going to read it because I feel like you put your heart into it. I can tell.
See,
right
I didn't
now.
write the press
Like,
release,
your
but I
face
know
was
somebody else put their heart into that. I didn't, but I'm just hyping it up.
Okay. I could feel it. But okay, so my last question is basically like, how can people look to collaborate with you guys? Like, let's say we have like some game devs who might want to work with you, or I know you already talked about like colleges and stuff, but let's say we have other podcasts that want to work with you. Like, what more can we do to help gameHERS with their mission?
Firstly,
other than just having you on and talking, what else can we do?
Hey, please feel free to contact us at letsplay@gameHERS.com. We're very responsive. We have amazing response times. No, but if you're looking to collaborate, just shoot us a message anywhere, whether that's through social media, through our emails, through any of us that you have on spot, like you have me on spot right now. Just give us a nice gentle ping. Let us know what you'd like to do, and we'll see what we can do. We love to collaborate with other communities. We love to collaborate with brands. We love to collaborate with other organizations with a mission. Don't come here with your hands outstretched like this, telling me like, "Hey, can we do something?" But then your organization has like no substance to it. Come on now,
right?
Bring a mission or go fishing. I just came up with that.
That is perfect.
That was great.
That's so good.
So for anybody listening, like she said, if you're interested in being a part of this community, if you want to collaborate, if you want to like help sponsor them, message them. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Twitter. You can find them at their website, and we will put all that information down below. But I just wanted to get that out there because I know lately I've been trying to collaborate a lot more with our podcast, and I know that there's so much more we can do other than just have people come on and talk about it. So like, I really want to get in there because it's important to me.
We're definitely looking to collaborate with a lot of people to do a lot of things.
You got to figure out something.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to collaborate with more Black-owned businesses this year. I'm hoping that we can do that. That's going to be some awesome stuff. Maybe some like makeup collaborations or clothing or swords. I love swords. I love weaponry. Let's talk about gameHERS branded weapons.
Yeah.
Is that a little peek behind the curtains? Is that the next big announcements after the
let's talk about
weapons?
The gameHERS katanas. We're talking about those now. I'm going to have to go bother the founders.
In a heartbeat. Tell them they at least have one sale. I will buy it.
Yeah.
Yes. No, this is for all of our martial arts peoples, because I'm also a martial arts people.
That's dope.
I would literally love that. I would love that if we have a gameHERS branded sheath. Oh no, I'm getting ideas. Let me calm down. Woo!
I feel like you have to like bring this up to them because that's dope.
Oh, see, now, I'm going to cause problems. You're
going to be like, I just got back from this podcast and I have an idea. Let me tell you, weapons.
Oh God.
They're going to be like, we don't want you back on that podcast.
Oh yes. Oh no. No. See, if I explain that it's for martial arts purposes and it's ceremonial, there's ceremonial weaponry. It's fine. It's fine.
I did see some of your merch. Nice segue. Thank you, me.
Yes.
I love hoodies, as you can tell. I'm always wearing a hoodie, and they have a hoodie. And on that hoodie, it's Pac-Man, and I fucking love Pac-Man. Yes. So I will be purchasing that.
Please.
Soon.
I had to behave myself when we were releasing our merch line because I was like, do I just get everything? I have a gameHERS cup. It's somewhere here. I actually have it. I would go and get up and get it, but I'm glued to my chair firmly. I don't want to move, and then the lighting shifts 1 centimeter, and
I
all
understand.
of a sudden, no.
Completely.
But the next time we have any of you guys on, I will be wearing the hoodie. Just know
Please
that.
do.
I will be representing.
Rep immediately.
Right now it's Ravenclaw, but
God.
Next time it'll be.
It's okay. I know you mean well. I'm still proud of you. I'm not wearing any gameHERS merch right now. They're probably disappointed in me.
No, you know, when I saw your sweater, I immediately thought of Velma from
Velma
Scooby-Doo.
cosplay.
Because it's orange and you have like the collar. I'm actually dressing up for her for Halloween. So
is this orange? It's like
it looks
brown.
Orange. No, it definitely doesn't look brown. It looks like pumpkin orange. It's a pumpkin spice orange.
A borange?
Somebody help me! I live right up the road from Starbucks. Don't do that.
Is that pumpkin spice lady coming over?
I'm a pumpkin spice latte. Hello.
There you go. Perfect.
Fall.
Well, that is so awesome. I'm so stoked on everything that the gameHERS is doing, and I will definitely have to get you back on it to tell us about more cool stuff in the future, and we'll make sure to have everything in the links below, because
definitely
everything that the gameHERS is doing is incredible work, and you yourself too, Raccine. The amount of stuff that you're doing and the amount of good that you do is just incredible. So thank you for doing what you do, and keep making cool stuff.
Very impressed. Awesome. Very impressed.
I cry.
No, damn it! I was trying to avoid this.
No, seriously. I'm hoping to do more things in life. So I'm excited to see what the future brings, not just for the gameHERS, but for the industry, for people in general, for humanity itself. Let's see.
We're excited to see what you're gonna do and like what you're gonna bring to the table. Like, I'm gonna like follow your social media, which I have not done yet because I was following the gameHERS, but now I will find you.
She's threatening me, y'all. Hello. But please find me.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely will. And we have your plugs, so I'm going to make sure we have those down underneath as well. But
I will add the gameHERS to that too. Perfect.
Let's talk about some news. We have 2 pieces of news, and the first one's quite a big one, so we're going to be talking all about it. They're coming from Game Rant, written by Jason Rocklin. Every game featured at Sony's July 2021 State of Play. So for anybody unaware, late last week on Thursday, we got a new State of Play for the first time since the Horizon Zero Dawn State of Play, and we got a whole bunch of stuff announced. We're going to be going through some of those announcements, and I will put out some feelers and see how Destiny and Raccine are feeling about some of these games. The first one that we got announced was Moss Book 2. So for anybody who's unaware, Moss is a lovely little VR game that came out a couple of years ago. In it, you play this little mouse, and they go on this like almost like Zelda-like adventure, and the whole game takes place in like a storybook, and like you'll see the pages flip. It is absolutely adorable. I bought the first one, and I just never got around to playing it, so this is going to push me to do that ASAP. I'm very, very excited about this game. Raccine, are you much of a VR person? Does Moss do anything for you?
So I actually have a Valve Index, so I am very much a VR person. I did see Moss, and I thought the aesthetic was so cute. No, that's me. The aesthetic is adorable. I know it's a puzzle adventure game, which it's another thing. I love puzzle experiences, especially when they're that interactive. So it's definitely a yes for me. The aesthetic is perfect. The fact that it's a VR game is right up my alleyway. The voice acting is yes.
Yeah, it's so adorable. Destiny, I know you don't like VR games, but did the Moss Book 2 announcement do anything for you?
No, that's not fair. When did I say that?
Oh, see, you're in trouble now. Look at what you did.
How many times did I try and get you to play VR and you're like,
Okay,
no,
listen.
I'm not
Okay.
doing that?
Listen,
Oh,
let me
Oh,
explain.
no.
When we go out and we're like chilling and like in a party mood, the last thing I want to do is put something on my face after I've like worn makeup and we're gonna go out. Like he like wants to play games like before we're going out, and I've been drinking, and I'm just not no. But I do
Okay.
like VR. I do.
I will mention
Okay.
Moss Hits. I'm going to mention Moss Hits again, especially because there's a giant rabbit in the game, and I have a pet rabbit. But here's the best part. I bought that rabbit, and they did not tell me that it was a giant rabbit. So right now it's a baby.
Oh,
Right now it's a baby.
how big is it?
Yay big.
How big is it
See,
gonna
that
get?
doesn't even feel like a baby. How big is it gonna get?
Oh my god!
Wow.
If I can have Justin bring the rabbit, I'm gonna have to scream his name. I'm gonna mute.
Okay. But just to it reminds me of Redwall, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those books before.
I told
but
him
that's
to bring
kind
the
of
rabbit.
that's kind of what it reminded me of. And I definitely want to play it. Like I do. And I don't to all of the people who are listening,
They would
that
like
is
to see
full
the
of
rabbit.
crap. I have never said I hated VR. Never said I hated VR. Okay. I'm just too drunk when he asked me to play.
All right, next time I'll wait till you're
He's
nice and
angrily
sober.
hoisting the rabbit. I'm sorry, okay? They want to see the rabbit.
Thanks, Justin.
I cannot wait to see this rabbit. I'm so excited.
She's like, it's a baby.
It's a baby.
And it's like this big.
She's gonna be like holding like a massive like Costco-sized stuffed animal.
Oh my god!
Like,
at some point,
just a baby.
At some point, it will be a large Costco-sized rabbit.
I didn't even know rabbits got that big.
I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating because I'm small. I could be exaggerating. Oh, he has the baby. He's bringing the child.
Aww.
You'll have to extend the child.
I'm just watching your face.
He's okay. Hello. Oh,
this is the first time we've had a cute, fluffy animal.
Oh my god.
Hello. Say hello to the camera.
Look how big his little eyes are. That doesn't make sense. Look how big his little eyes are. Anyways. Look how
Yeah, I
big
understand.
His eyes are. It's so cute.
It's adorable.
Well, he has nails. He is shaking. He's gonna scratch
he's
me.
nervous.
Yeah,
Scared.
he's always shaking, even when he's playful. Poor thing. I think
Aww.
we need to get him.
What's his name?
Spritz.
Spritz?
Spritz is
Spritz.
an
That's
adorable
perfect.
Oh,
That's
you're
perfect.
licking. What are you licking? Why are you licking? You like to lick. What do you?
He's so cute.
For any audio listeners, this is the perfect time to hop over to YouTube just to see this rabbit. It is adorable.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Like if you want to know what's licking and what it's licking,
Yay.
definitely check it out.
He's climbing. You're like.
Which is a perfect
he's giving
segue.
you kisses.
Because we actually did get a rabbit-themed game in the State of Play. We got Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, which is an action-packed Metroidvania where you play a rabbit with a giant metal arm. The art style looks super cool, and I am a fan of Metroidvanias. This one, for me, didn't grab me immediately, but I am curious to see more from it. Raccine, does a giant rabbit with a giant metal arm... No, are you okay? You're battling the rabbit.
That's fine. He was trying to climb me and stabbed me a few times. I'm alive.
With his claws.
As happens. As these things happen. Does Fist do anything for you? The rabbit game with the giant metal arm, it's a Metroidvania?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've connected more with you. You're staring me down. I'm sorry. Blame Justin.
It's okay.
You left your hay on me. Okay. Yeah, no, I've definitely been connecting more with rabbit-themed games as of late. Are you trying to escape?
No,
you're just sniffing. No, Spritz is really curious. When I initially got Spritz, he was super nervous. I don't know. I don't think they did anything bad at the pet store. He's just a really anxious rabbit from what I've seen. But he's super comfortable now, and he loves to explore. He likes to try and lick the Swiffer, and we always say, no, do not lick the Swiffer wet jet in this household. He never gets to, because I refuse to have him lick the Swiffer. However, he will inspect my valve index, which goes back to the whole VR thing. No, you cannot lick the Valve Index. That is an expensive piece of technology. I'm looking at him right now walking towards the Valve Index box.
No, Spritz! Maybe Spritz
Well,
just
how
wants
did
to
you
play
get
VR.
so far? I think he might just want to play VR. Oh, God. Okay. Oh,
What about you,
okay,
Destiny?
he's in the dustpan. Anyways.
Does it look
Fist do anything?
interesting to me?
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right. The next couple announcements we're going to kind of blitz through because I don't think we care that much. Ilphonic showed off their new game, Arcadegeddon. That's a name. They're known for making Friday the 13th and Predator Hunting Grounds. It is a flashy multiplayer shooter. It launched in early access already, and the full game will be coming out next year. Tribes of Midgard got another trailer coming out later this month. They started talking about what's going to be coming in its free season updates after launch. Hunters Arena Legends is a 30 player battle royale focused around martial arts and swordplay. This one for me
You have me in
is
martial arts.
right. Like this one for me is a. I'm curious to check it out. It's coming. It's actually going to be on PlayStation Plus for the month of August. So if you are subscribed to PlayStation Plus, you can get that game. And it's basically like Fortnite, but instead of shooting and instead of 100 players, there's 30, and you beat the crap out of each other and different enemies around the arena. So, Raccine, as someone that likes MMORPGs quite a bit, are you into battle royales at all? Does this one, because of the martial arts, do anything more for you than others might?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it might, because I don't mind playing battle royales, but I feel like they have to have specific qualities for me to completely enjoy them. And the fact that it's martial arts theme does definitely get to me, so I'll probably be playing that if I can.
Nice. What about you, Destiny? Does the art style do anything for you? Because I know you're not
The
too
art
big into
style is
PvP stuff.
nice.
Don't
No,
lick.
I'm really bad at battle royales. You already know that. Like, I fail all the time. And then if I don't fail, I'm always surprised. And then because I get surprised, then I fail. So, I don't know. I mean, like, I honestly, I didn't play battle royales until I met you, right? And so I think, like, if we get together, you know, at your wedding or anything and you want to try it, I'll definitely be up to trying it. But I probably won't buy it myself.
All right, deal. Well, then we'll have to try it together sometime.
Yeah.
The next game that we saw is one of the games that I am most excited about. And it got a slight delay. We got some more from Sifu, which is a martial arts game where every time you die, quote unquote, your character ages a bit. And it was delayed. It was supposed to be coming out in 2021, but it got delayed to early 2022. The battles and the fighting style for this looks very, very punchy. Like it has such a cool cinematic style to it. And Raccine, as someone who likes martial arts, are you excited for Sifu? Have you seen a lot of this game? Because
I saw the aesthetic.
badass.
I saw the aesthetic of Sifu. It does look very much badass. I know it's PS5, PS4, but I saw it and I said to myself, I might just have to buy a PS5 for this.
Yeah,
I
it
might.
looks super, super
I love
cool.
the aesthetic of it. I love the aesthetic of it. And the fact that you you age every time you die, I'm going to be dying a lot. Whoopsie. I wonder if they let you live to 100.
Yeah, I hope so, because my character's going to get old real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to be in danger. Spritz, don't eat the slippers.
Not the slippers.
Food. Anyways.
The next thing that we got a peek at was Jet the Far Shore. This is coming from Super Brothers. This is one of the ones that we've seen quite a few times already at different state of plays and different events. It's like a space exploration game where the whole point is to kind of have fly around these planets and just kind of explore. Destiny, I know you like the more relaxing, serene experiences as well, but does this one do much for you, or are you excited about flying around space in a tiny ship?
Like, I'm not excited, but I'm interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because I do like relaxed games sometimes, and this seems very chill. And just the look looks really nice. Like, I like the aesthetic of the game overall, so I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, I'm also quite excited for that. I love atmospheric and ambient games. So when I initially saw the trailer for it, I knew it was something I was going to be interested in almost immediately.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see more. The game itself doesn't entirely grab me. I don't usually like flying simulators like this, but I'm like you guys said, the atmosphere is kind of selling me on it, so I'm curious to check it out. The next thing you got was Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, which is a video game based on the very, very popular Demon Slayer manga and anime. That's coming October 15th. This is another one where it's, walk around and talk to people, but as soon as the battles start, it's a 3D arena battler. Personally, I am so sick of this kind of game in anime. I just want to see more anime games be a little bit more creative, do some new cool stuff, not just another 3D arena battler. I love the anime, and I'm really excited to watch the movie. But this game isn't really doing much for me. Either one of you, is the Demon Slayer game something that you're looking forward to?
I didn't even watch the anime.
Yeah, honestly, I've seen bits and pieces of the anime. Haven't really. I think the game's going to be exciting to those who I know who are interested in Demon Slayer, but I think the graphics are cute. They're true to the anime, but I don't know if I'm particularly excited for it. Sprit seems to want to play it because I'm playing the trailer in front of him right now, and he's doing a little dancey dance. Oh, you just want me to open the door, don't you? Mm-hmm.
So Demon Slayer is Spritz approved. That is the most important takeaway.
Yes, it's Spritz approved. I think everything should get the Spritz seal of approval before you play it. That is super important.
I think that's incredibly right. The next thing, we got a new gameplay showcase for a game I'm incredibly excited about, Lost Judgment, which is coming out in September. It's a first global release for RGG Studios, who make Yakuza. I cannot wait for this game. They showed off stuff like skateboarding, and you can like walk your dog, and there's like a DDR style mini game. I loved the original Judgment. I love Yakuza, so having kind of Judgment now be the kind of the arcadey fighty style, with Yakuza taking the traditional JRPG stance now. I'm so excited for this one. Raccine, have you played Judgment or any of the Yakuza games? Are you excited for Lost Judgment?
I have not played Judgment. I have not played Judgment yet. I want to. I want to. That's where I'm going to leave that at, because if I say anything else, anyone that I know that played Yakuza is going to hurt me.
Awesome. A game that I'm sure Darren is very excited about, Death Stranding Director's Cut. We saw a little bit more from it after its unveiling a month ago. We know that it's going to have some added stuff. There's going to be new battles, new combat mechanics, some story missions, a firing range, a racing mode, which was not something that I anticipated whatsoever. I'm sure Darren will be looking forward to jumping back into this. But Destiny, are you curious about more Death Stranding?
I mean, I'm curious if it's not like just 95% a walking simulator. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I tried to connect with the original one, and it didn't really do much for me, but it's okay. For people who are excited about it, that'll be coming very, very soon. I believe that's coming in September.
Do not lick the index.
Do not do that, Spritz. Don't do it, Spritz.
He has the zoomies. Why do you have the zoomies now?
He's excited. He's like, VR, I can play.
He never has the zoomies. He's only doing this when I'm on a call.
Oh, that makes me miss Zuri. Like, she would do the worst shit when I was on call or something. Like,
stop! No, don't lick the index. I'm serious. Come here. Come here.
Does he actually listen to you?
Sometimes. Thank you. Come closer. Don't lick the index.
What's next, Matt?
The last thing on our state of play was Deathloop. We got 9 minutes of gameplay. This is, of course, coming from Arcane Studios, coming out in September as well, I believe. I cannot wait for this game. The aesthetic and everything about it just looks so awesome. I loved the original Dishonored. Dishonored 2 didn't grab me as much, but this looks right up my alley. I love how you can like invade your friends' games and be able to, kind of go up against them as they're trying to complete their story mode. Deathloop is entirely my shit. It looks awesome. Destiny, are you curious at all about Deathloop? It does have a Black Pro tag. It does have
when they have a Black Pro tag, I gotta get into it. Like, I gotta represent the representation in the game. Yeah. But also, like, when you said that, all I could think of was Eddie Murphy saying, "Dishonor on you, dishonor on your whole family." That's all I could think of.
I thought Destiny, same. I didn't know if I would. Same. That's like everything Destiny just said. Don't even ask me a question. Everything Destiny just said. Goodbye.
Perfect. And our last piece of news before we wrap up, coming from Eurogamer, written by Matt Wales. Season 2 of Netflix's The Witcher series arrives this December. We got a full trailer, and Netflix has finally shared its confirmed release date of December 17th. So that'll be coming this winter. Destiny, I know you're a massive fan of The Witcher.
I am a huge fan of The Witcher.
Are you excited for the second season? Did that trailer do anything for you?
Okay, look, I'm excited, right? But, like, I could do without what's-her-face. And I'm not even going to... I just...
Siri or Yen?
Yennefer, obviously. I can't stand her.
Oh, no.
I am Team Triss. I'm sorry. I am Team Triss. All the way.
No. I'm sitting here blank as hell because I have not. Oop, I'm about to offend everybody. I have not watched The Witcher.
That's okay.
It's on my list. No, listen.
Did you
it's
play
okay.
the game?
It's okay to you, Destiny. It's not okay to anybody watching this.
But she will. Okay, guys? It's on her list.
Yes,
she will.
Please remind me on Twitter.com.
I won't say anything else because I was going to dive deep into my hate for certain characters.
Hold me accountable. Make sure I watch and play.
I will.
We will. I'm excited about this. Oh, he's finally loafing. He's chilling. Good. There you go.
He's comfortable. He has his legs stretched out. He's comfortable.
I can't wait for season 2. Season 1 was a blast. It seems season 2 is going to be very much more focused on a singular story. Season 1 we had a bunch of disparate parts that kind of connected at some point. This seems like a much more
No, it all made sense. It was leading up.
Yeah. By the end of it, but the Witcher's journey through it was I'm over here, and now I'm over here, and now I'm over here.
I'm just hoping that since they renewed, they got a better budget, and we can do something about those contacts. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry.
I understand.
Oh no.
And that, everyone, brings us to the end of the show. Raccine, thank you once again for joining us, and I'm gonna have all the links below.
Thank you so much for having me.
Where could they find you? If people want to hear more from you, where could they find you?
Plug your socials, girl.
Yes, ma'am. So you can find me on Twitter at Fibonacci Recoil. It's going to be in the description. I'm not going to spell that. I'm sorry. You can also find me on Twitch at Contasolzale. Not going to spell that either. I'm sorry.
She ain't spelling nothing.
That's mainly where you can find me. I'm sorry for the obnoxiously long, convoluted usernames, but have a good time.
They're important. They're important.
Yeah,
and
please connect with the gameHERS on all of the social media at our various @, mainly the gameHERS at the gameHERS, and join our Discord server. The link will also be in the description below. And
yes, it will.
Definitely plug in Safe in Our World again, because that is a mental health resource. Super important. Mm-hmm. Safe in Our World, Twitter, Discord, everything. Please join those. Would 100% recommend.
I will track all those down as well, and also have the show notes, so if you can find any of those things directly down below if you are curious. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute.
She said, wait a minute.
All right, so I just wanted to throw this out here really quick, because we are going to be coming up on our 100th episode really soon, and we want you guys, our listeners, to get very excited. We're going to be having a contest where we're going to be giving out lots of prizes for everyone who likes or subscribes to our channel, to our Twitter. Follow us, whatever you do. We'll know if you do it. And if you do, you have an amazing chance to win one of the game codes we're giving out, something from Xbox. We just have a bunch of stuff that we're trying to give out just because we appreciate you guys listening to us. So please stay tuned. We are going to have more videos and more information about the contest and everything. We're going to have some special guests. Matt, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be blowing it out. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. Those details will be on our Twitters in just a couple of days, so you can find everywhere how to enter the contest and how to get ready to win some cool stuff.
Everyone get pumped right now. If you're watching this, get hype. Or else I'm gonna have to ask you questions very gently about why you're not excited, and maybe perhaps encourage you to become excited about this opportunity.
And by gentle, she means
I said gentle. Shh, there are no implications.
Listen, there's a reason we've been talking about katanas, okay? Anyway. Thank you.
See, we're gonna have a fun.
She's finding out.
Yeah, that's my cue, folks. Thank you all for watching. I'm about to sign out for these people. Shh, it's not your podcast anymore. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Destiny, and I'm Matt, and thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's a podcast. We're done. Stop recording. Woo! We can go home, y'all.
Finished. don't know why I started laughing.
That's a great blooper.
Just that excited.
Just that excited, yeah.
We always have an ending stinger at the end of our credits anyway, so this is going to be perfect. I'm just going to leave Destiny laughing to herself.